Hello, mathletes. We are continuing our journey on learning about measurement. There are all different kinds of ways you can measure. You can measure with non-standard units, like paper clips, as long as all those units are the same length. You can measure in inches. You can measure in feet. You can measure in yards. And if you're driving a car, you can even measure in miles. So there are all different types of ways to measure. But we're going to focus in on measuring using inches and feet. This is an example or an image of a ruler. This ruler has 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches, 7 inches, 12 inches. So before we even talk about measurement, I want you to think about why is measurement so important? Did you have enough time to think about why measurement is important? Great. Well, how do you find the length or width of a box? Think about lessons we've learned before. How would you find the length or width of a box? Great. So when you're measuring a box is typically, not always, but typically larger than a foot. So we know that 1 foot equals 12 inches, but also equals a foot ruler. So if you look here, this ruler starts at 1 inch and ends at 12 inches. So we know it's a foot ruler. Now let's look at this box. Is this box longer than a foot, or is it shorter than a foot? Say it out loud. You're correct. Box A is longer than a foot. Let's look at box B. We know from here to here is 12 inches, which equals a foot. And we know from here to here, that equals another foot. So do you see 2 feet? So box B, is box B longer than 2 feet, or is it shorter than 2 feet? Say it out loud. You're right. Box B is shorter than 2 feet. Just by a little bit right here. In fact, just by an inch. So, is box B longer than 1 foot or shorter than 1 foot? You're right. Box B is longer than 1 foot, but it's shorter than 2 feet. Fantastic. So as you go through your day, I want you to start to look at objects and think, is that object longer than a foot? Is it shorter than a foot? Now it's going to be an opportunity to practice for you. So I want you to look at this book, and I want you to look at this ruler that is a foot. I want you to think the length of the book is blank, then 1 foot. Is it equal to a foot? Is it less than 1 foot? Is it more than 1 foot? Say it out loud, please. Great. Let's look at the height of this chair. Now, this is a ruler. This is a ruler that measures 1 foot. So let's count how many rulers you see. So that would be 1 foot, 2 feet, 3 feet. So the height of the chair is blank than 2 feet. Is it more than 2 feet? Is it less than 2 feet? Say it out loud. Great. Now you're going to go on a scavenger hunt. You are going to look for 3 objects. I want you to find one object that is less than a foot. Then I want you to find an object that is about a foot. And the last object I want you to do is find an object that is more than a foot. Pause the video and go on your scavenger hunt. Great job, you're back. So after this entire video is done, you will have an opportunity to check the objects with a ruler or the length of 12 quarters. You're saying, wait, what? 12 quarters? Well, tune in to find out what I mean. Now, we're going to work on measuring in inches. You can use inches to measure the length of shorter objects, like shorter than the box that we were just measuring. Inches are marked on this ruler. There are 12 inches in 1 foot. Let's look at this ruler. So do you see that's 1 inch? This is only a 6-inch ruler. So what is an inch? It's a unit of length, just like the foot, and you can use it to measure shorter objects. Now, we're all home, and not all homes have rulers. Some might have yardsticks, some might have tape measures, but not everybody has a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, I want you to think about a quarter. Did you know that a quarter measures 1 inch across? A quarter is exactly 1 inch. So you can use a quarter to help you figure out the length of objects. Good to know. Great, now you're going to practice. The bottle is about blank inches. That word about is very important. So when we line up our item, we want it lined up with 0, and we're looking to see how long the bottle is. Interesting. It's between 9 inches and 10 inches. So we want to find out the bottle is about how many inches long. So you decide, is it closer to 9 inches or is it closer to 10 inches? This is the halfway point. Tell me out loud, the bottle is about, say it, inches long. Did you say 10 inches? You're right. It's almost to 10 inches. It's not exact, but it's about 10 inches. Let's look at this nice sticker. Again, we have a ruler. This is representing inches. So the sticker is about blank inches long. We line it up. So is it about 1 inch or is it about 2 inches? Say it out loud. Great. All right, let's look at this eraser. We line the bottom of the eraser up to 0 and we see how many units long. Now this isn't about, this is exact. It's exactly how many inches. Great. Now we're going to do another scavenger hunt. You're going to find 3 objects less than a foot. Then measure each item using a ruler. That's supposed to be a picture of a ruler. I don't know what happened. Or quarters. Remember how we learned about quarters? Quarters are approximately 1 inch long. So you can use that as kind of like a non-standard method. About how many inches is each item? Please pause the video and have your scavenger hunt. So today, your independent practice will be on IXL. Here's an example of a question that you might have. Remember, if you click the blue volume button, it will read you the question. Move the ruler to measure the length of the nail to the nearest inch. Now, notice they want you to move this ruler by clicking and dragging. I move the ruler. I'm very careful to line up my object. The base of my object lines up at 0 inches. And I count how many units. There's 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches. Look at that. That's approximately 3 inches. So what you would then do is type in the nail is, you click on that, type in 3 inches long, and hit or click submit. I hope you enjoyed this and practicing how to measure items. Enjoy your IXL practice. Have a nice day.